Our 2018 Pioneer Athletic Conference preview show here on Media Day down at the Springford School Show. I'm Dave Ryan. I'm joined by Phoenixville's first-year coach, but he's certainly a guy that we've seen many times before, Don Grinstead. He is in his first year at Phoenixville. First of all, Don, welcome back, and great. Thanks for stopping by. I know it's a long day. And we're the last ones to go here, my man. Yeah. But it's funny. Somebody said you got homesick down there in Florida and had to come back after a 2-year hiatus, huh?
I tell people all the time I got culturally homesick.
There you go.
Florida's a great place to live, and it's nice to be able to golf a lot and fish a lot. But I think you got to be be cognizant of your cultural surroundings. And when the opportunity came to get back up here, especially for Phoenixville, it was a no-brainer for my family and I.
That's great. Well, we welcome you back, and I'm sure that you're anxious to get started. And I know you said earlier that you certainly wanted to bring accountability back to Phoenixville and try to turn things around. You had a similar situation in Pottstown where two schools that were, I think, pretty similar back in the day when I played Phoenixville and Pottstown. You know, we had a bunch of tough kids and played hard football, and that's what you want to try to bring back. You tried to do that at Pottstown when you were there, now also at Phoenixville.
Absolutely, same thing. And the way my relationship with Phoenixville started out as when I was coaching at Great Valley as a defensive coordinator. And the one thing I would say all the time when we played them, I hated playing them because they were tough. And our kids at that time, Great Valley is a different kind of kid. Yeah. And, we'd sometimes be better than them, but as the game went on, Bill Furlong was there, and he was a really good coach, and he taught toughness, and he taught guys do it by the book. And the one thing I realized every time we played them is once they punched us in the mouth, our kids really didn't respond. Yeah, and that was kind of who they were. And as culturally living in Phoenixville and getting to know people in Phoenixville, that's who that program's been. And that's what they've been. They've been playing football since 1894. And that's what Phoenixville has been. That's what the town's been. And that's where we want to go back to. Obviously, we all know that, we can't bring back coal. Right, and, Phoenixville's not going to turn back into a coal town. Right. But I think philosophically, we can instill that foundation in our program that we're going to be tough, hardworking people. And when we play teams, win or loss, they're going to know we were there.
Well, it's funny because I talked to Neil Olkowitz, who was certainly one of the premier graduates of Phoenixville High School and played for the Washington Redskins and 2 Super Bowl rings. I mean, everybody knows his story. Mm-hmm. And I played against him, and it was a game where, you barely could make it to the bus after the game. I mean, that's how we played, and that's how they played. And it was always a lot of fun because the Coatesvilles, the Phoenixvilles, the Pottstowns, we were all like Norristown. We had similar type towns and tough kids, and I'm sure that's what you want to aim for at Phoenixville again.
That's exactly what we want. I want when we've talked to our team about the pride in our program and about how many. I can't tell you how many alumni I run into on a daily basis who want to feel that pride again. And for lack of a better word or situation, they've come to games over recent years and haven't felt the same amount of pride, and they haven't seen the same kind of teams. And when I watch our team on film over the last couple of years, I don't see the same Phoenixville team that I saw when I was coaching at Great Valley. That's the team I want. I want kids that are accountable, that are hardworking, that care about that community. All right, Phoenixville's a special place to live in. Yep. I don't think our kids realize how lucky they are sometimes to grow up in a place like Phoenixville, and that's exactly what we want to bring back.
Well, 2 and 3 last year in Frontier. Mm-hmm. The guys fought for that. They get the smaller schools playing each other and the larger schools playing in the Liberty Division. So you have that situation now as well. I know you were one of the guys at Pottstown said, it's tough when we're getting our heads kicked in by Springford and PV and some of these big schools week in and week out, and enthusiasm's not there and so on. How's the enthusiasm? How's that team thing coming back now this year?
You talk about me moving back. That's one of the decisions, right? Coming back, and to be honest with you, it wouldn't have been as lucrative of a situation had we come back and it's still just been a straight Pac-10 division.
Correct.
Because I felt like there was such an issue with the big schools and the small schools. And that's not Springford's problem, and that's not Boyertown's problem or PV's problem. Right. Their job is to build big schools and have as many kids as they can. But it didn't put us on an even playing field. So when we were 4 out of 5 weeks when we were playing big schools and we couldn't survive to get to play smaller schools and be in a good place. So that's really a big bonus to taking this and having that divisional split where we're going to field a team of 40, 45 kids, but we're going to be playing against other teams with the same numbers, with the same amount of guys going both ways. That's a big deal, and it was a big lure part for me to come back here.
Well, the last winning season Phoenixville had was 2012. So it's been a few years now, and they had a couple lean years. How do you get them back into that winning mode? What do you teach your kids? What's your philosophy now? How do we get back here?
Well, I think we start day by day, right? We're not going to get back there overnight, right? We're 6 years removed from a winning season, and we're not going to get there overnight. And I told these guys, and I really want our senior class to feel appreciated for what they're going to do, because they're going to lay bricks right now that are going to, and I hope it hits fruition this year, and we take off and we turn into a very good team. But they're going to lay bricks to put us back into a place where we're going to be a competitive team in our league, in our division, in our non-conference schedule, and put us back in a position where we're going to be a respectable program again.
Well, you said you're going to have a couple emotional games this year. You play Great Valley, and, of course, you play Pottstown, two teams that you had coached, two schools that you had coached. How are you going to handle that personally? It's sort of hard not to get ramped up and whatever, but you got to stay calm and keep all your thoughts together. How do you approach those games? I
think the Great Valley game, to kind of start there the first week of the game, and first of all, I love the fact that we play that game. And I told my AD when I got hired, we're never getting rid of Great Valley. That's a rivalry game, and I want that game, because I know when we get to what we're capable of doing, I know that it's going to be great for our community. It's going to be great because we're right down the street from each other, and I want that feel the first game of the season. I think they're a decent program right now. I would think that I had something to do with that. I started that rebuilding culture at Great Valley, and the year after I left, they won the district championship when I went to become the head coach at Pottstown. So I think from that standpoint, that's why it's going to be a little tough, is because I started that rebuild mode. But I also remember what that game between Phoenixville and Great Valley was. My first experience with that game was in 2009. And 2010 and 2009, the stands were packed. And there was standing room around the stadium at Great Valley as well as Phoenixville. And that's why I'm passionate about that game, not just because I coached there. The Pottstown feel will be, that'll always be a love, because it was my first head coaching job. Pottstown gave me my first start. And I got a chance to prove myself as a head coach. And I think for that, I'll always be grateful to Pottstown, the school district, and the community, and the kids that played for me, and how hard they fought for me. From a standpoint of the emotional side of it, most of the kids I coach are graduated now, I won't have that. My
so we
kids
can't bring tension back and let him run around against you guys.
No, I think he's doing some other stuff now. But from that standpoint, the kids are all graduated that I've coached, which kind of makes the timing good too, because I wouldn't want that. My loyalty is to Phoenixville and my kids now. And I think just for the standpoint that Pottstown gave me my first shot is the emotional part, that I'll always be grateful for them giving me my first opportunity.
And just a little hint to tell you how old I am. I coached and taught Brandon Tinson's father. Brandon Tinson, who was a heck of an athlete.
He was a heck of a player.
He was a heck of and a great student as well, and a good role model for those guys.
Went to Colgate. Colgate was a really good student.
Yeah. Well, let's hope Washington Field is jumping again this year, Coach, and we're going to be right there watching you and taking in all the action. We wish you nothing but the best in your return, and we hope the Phoenixville Phantoms do so as well. Well, Coach Grinstead brought a couple of his studs that he is counting on heavily this year, and we're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, we're going to talk to them real quick as we finish up our 2018 Pioneer Athletic Conference preview show. Talked about the three studs that Coach Grinstead brought along with him here. Three guys that he is counting on heavily to help the Phantoms get back to those glory days are up here with me now. And let's start with the quarterback. That's where everything starts. Let's see what he has to say. And a pretty good junior year. Threw the ball around a little bit. What kinds of things do we expect to see improvement-wise or better-wise for you this year at that quarterback position?
As of now, I think my arm has gotten a lot stronger, so I'm way more confident where I can put the ball and I'm more accurate. And I have a lot of confidence in my teammates, and I'm confident that they'll catch the ball.
How do you like the new offenses? Are there new offense you're running now? How do you like the new offense?
I like it. It's more options, I can say. You got a lot of chances to put points on the board.
Okay, and that's what you need to win some games as well. Well, we got running backs here and linemen, and last year close to 1,000, not quite. Obviously, you want that 1,000-yard mark. That's always what running backs want, and I guess you're going to get some shots to get that this year.
Yes, my goal last year was 1,000 yards, and obviously I came short. So this year, my next goal is to get 1,000 yards, and I have full confidence in my line. I know without them, I wouldn't be able to do what I do, but yeah, I'm confident.
All right, you got to buy these guys some more pizza so they block a little bit longer for you. Now, you're the offensive line and defensive line and working in the trenches. How's it going so far in 2018?
It's going great. The line's looking good. We got a lot of upperclassmen on the line that have been working together. This will be my first season, hopefully my first full season. I've been injured the past 2 years, so I'm looking to actually play the season with the guys that I've been working with throughout the past 2-3 summers. That we all have a great relationship, and I think with the help of our coach, Bubba, we call him Jamie Gray, I think we'll do great.
That's awesome. Now, do you feel a little bit more togetherness this year at all? You know, I know Coach Grinstead loves it to talk about the brotherhood and you know, family and all that. How do you feel about the camaraderie and togetherness of your squad?
I love it. I love the atmosphere. I love getting to hang out with these guys every day, working hard with them. They're truly my brothers, and I know after my senior year, whatever I do next, I know I always got my brothers with me.
Absolutely, and that's good stuff. You know, high school football, it's so much fun, and it goes by fast. Can you believe you're heading into your last year already?
No, I can. I'm sad it's coming to an end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember sitting there on Thanksgiving Day and just shaking my head thinking, man, I can't believe that. Well, we played 3 years then at that time, but your 3 years are going. Can you imagine that you're going into your senior year already?
I can't believe it. Time flies. Can't believe it.
Now, what's the? I know you haven't been back to school yet, but hopefully the school will get behind you, camaraderie, the student population and gang. You know, how are you going to get them to get on your side and get out there to Washington Field to watch you play on Friday nights?
We're just going to show them that we are the team that we know we can be. They might not have all the confidence in the world, but I think after Great Valley in our first few games, we'll show them what we're actually made of. They should come out and see and support their team.
Can you imagine playing in August already? August 24th is right around the corner of the first game. It just seems like I just was at the July 4th parade and stuff. Yeah. Now we're getting ready for football season. Are you ready to take it on?
I am very excited and confident in my team.
Good. How about you guys? You all set and ready to rock and roll?
Oh, yeah. I'm ready to go to war with these guys whenever.
That's good. And Great Valley is your opener, a non-league game, and so you have an opportunity. Obviously, Pottsgrove is a team that everybody has their sort of eye on. Yeah. You know, they've been a dominant team in the Frontier Division. What do you have to do to play with those kind of teams and to get yourself elevated to that level?
I think just work hard at practice and come out of the game. Don't go into the game feeling any doubt. Come in with the most confidence you can have and just compete.
Compete. Pottsgrove always a team you want to beat. You know, you want to take one game at a time, but there's always a game you circle a little bit, and obviously Pottsgrove is a game that everybody looks forward to playing.
Yep. Along with what Connor said, it's a lot of mental. We just got to go in knowing that we got to work hard, do our jobs, and work together as a team.
And they put their uniforms on the same as you guys do, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Any funny stories before we go about the new coach or anything you want to tell anybody out there? I mean, he won't get mad at you now. Anything that we should know that's sort of G-rated and whatever? Anybody have anything? No? Okay. All right. They don't want to run extra wind sprints tomorrow, Coach. They don't want to run extra tomorrow. And I'm glad this is the first team that said that they're a little sore after practice this week. All the other guys said we're not sore. I said, coaches, you're not working them hard enough. You better be sore when you're done football practice. But anyway, guys, hey, listen, I want to thank you for stopping by and wish you all the best. We'll keep following you here on the PCTV network. And I want to thank everybody. It's been a long day down here at Springford with the Media Day and also our preview show. And I want to thank everybody. And make sure you tune into the PCTV network. We're opening up Pottsgrove and West Catholic, I believe, is our first game here on the network. So we're trying to bring you as much football action as you can. I'm Dave Reinauer. Thanks for watching, and have a good 2018 high school football season.